The phone rang at 3:12 a.m. and 4 pump murmured beside my bed, its soft rhythm like a guilty thought I couldn't silence. The number was unfamiliar. I let it ring, once, twice, then again, because I was beginning to understand the power of not rushing. When I finally picked up, laughter spilled through the line. A woman's laugh, carefree, airy, ocean-light, completely out of place in a room heavy with antiseptic and leftover pizza. "Wrong number," a man said, slightly out of breath. Then came a pause, followed by a smile I could practically hear. "Unless this is still his phone." The call disconnected. I stared up at the ceiling, tracing cracks with my eyes, counting breaths, counting all the ways an entire month could unfold without me in it. Then my phone lit up again. This time, images. Too many. Too fast to be coincidence. Smudged city lights. Wine glasses clinking. A wrist I knew well, wearing the silver bracelet I'd given her back when life was kinder. In one photo, my wife's sister laughed, leaning into someone carefully cropped out of frame. In another, a man's hand rested on my wife's knee, comfortable, claiming, known. I closed my eyes and focused on slowing my heartbeat. Panic shouts. Planning whispers. They had left me with $20 and a cold pizza box on the counter. The departure date circled on the fridge like a cruel joke. "Back in a month," she'd said, kissing my forehead as though I were already fading away. Now the room felt tighter, heavier. The truth had started to inhale. I didn't need a name. The past always reintroduces itself boldly. Her ex. The one she promised was long gone. The one who still liked her photos at 2 in the morning. The one whose laugh I now recognized in the dark. I replayed the weeks leading up to their trip, the sudden tenderness, the practiced sweetness. How she paid for travel insurance using our joint account, then told me her card was declined at the pharmacy. How her sister wouldn't meet my eyes, always rushing, always glued to her phone. While my body recovered, I told myself comforting stories. While my mind sharpened, I fed myself lies. I remembered how my wife stopped saying my name, replacing it with "hey." How touch turned functional. "Help me sit. Help me stand." Nothing beyond that. I remembered how lightly she packed, like someone who didn't expect to feel absence. Cheating rarely arrives as a scream. It comes as quiet murmurs you decide not to hear. I looked at the calendar. 29 days crossed off. 1 circled. Arrival. I didn't confront her. I didn't accuse. I breathed. I watched. I waited. Some betrayals call for fury. Others require accuracy. I chose accuracy. I started with what was easiest. Call records. Cloud accounts she forgot to sign out of. Location tracking she assumed was turned off. Her sister's private social media, guarded, yet careless with reflections and shadows. Europe looked stunning when someone else was paying. I learned their patterns. Museums early. Wine by midday. The ex always just outside the frame, tagged accidentally, corrected too late. I memorized hotel names, room numbers, the single bed. On the outside, I healed. Smiled at nurses. Practiced walking. Signed discharge forms. On the inside, I constructed a timeline. The night she said she was too exhausted to talk. The afternoon she lost service. The morning she left me a voice note, calling me by his name, then deleting it seconds later. Too slow. While they were gone, I ordered only one thing. Not furniture. Not clothes. Paperwork. I moved money she didn't realize I could touch. I changed passwords she never thought I knew. I submitted documents that stay silent until everything is complete. I didn't rehearse. There was nothing to practice. By the time the plane touched down, I could stand on my own. By the time they drove back, the house no longer belonged to us. It belonged to me. They arrived at sunset, wheels rolling, skin sunburned, confidence intact. Her sister spoke too quickly. My wife was already apologizing without knowing why. Then she noticed. Bare walls. Missing photos. Empty rooms. And one envelope waiting on the table. Her breath hitched. No, this can't be real. I handed her the envelope. Inside were printed bookings, hotel bills, a detailed timeline, screenshots, and the call log, 3:12 a.m. circled in red. I watched as she read. Watched the color leave her face. Watched her sister drop into a chair like her legs had given out. "I can explain," my wife whispered. I nodded. "I know." That's when she fell apart, words tumbling, tears sharpened into tools. The ex became a mistake. Europe became recovery. My illness became the reason for the distance. I listened the way a stranger would, calm, detached, done. I slid one final document across the table. Divorce filed. Assets divided. Power of attorney revoked. Access terminated. "You left me with $20, I said. "I spent it buying time." Her sister stood, furious now, defensive, loyal to the wrong person. I met her gaze. "You're not welcome here." The silence shattered. My wife reached for me. I stepped away, not theatrically, just deliberately. "I knew before you left," I said. "I wanted to see how far you'd take it." That landed hard. She collapsed into a chair, finally seeing the outline of the trap. There was no yelling, no pleading that mattered. The ex was called. Messages left. None answered. I opened the door. They left in fragments, luggage heavier with regret. The house remained still. I sat alone and felt nothing jagged, only clean. Betrayal doesn't conclude with forgiveness. It ends with understanding. I turned off the lights, locked the door, and walked away from the man who needed them. Some losses teach you how to stand. Some truths teach you how to leave. And some silences become the loudest victory you'll ever hear.